We do have a number of questions about the federal budget, about sequestration, and the effects of that. We're going to go to who's been waiting a long time. We appreciate it. Ryan in Huntsville has a question, and so Ryan, are you there? Are you on the line?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, well, you're on live with the Senator. What's your question?
Yes, sir. Senator, I am one of your civilian employees that works on a military installation here in Utah, and I'm in the fire department, and we are faced with furloughs. My question is this. A lot of your federal fire departments have agreements with the local communities, and we cover them for fire protection as well as rescue and emergency medical services. Through the furloughs, that takes us down below what our minimum manning should be for just protecting the base. How are you prepared to notify the public that they will no longer be protected by the blanket, so to speak, that we've been protecting them with? And who's going to pick up the slack that we just simply can't handle because we don't have the manning for it?
Yeah, that is a problem, and that's one of the many problems associated with this kind of an arrangement. It's one of the many problems associated with this kind of broad cutting program, one that cuts rather indiscriminately and across the board like that. And again, it's one of the many reasons why I voted against the Budget Control Act of 2011. I could see then what was going to happen, which was, number one, the super committee was going to fail. Number two, these sequestration cuts would therefore kick in. And number three, that was going to cut a lot of essential services, especially people within the military, civilian employees within the military. Again, that's also why I've introduced bill after bill over the last couple of years trying to replace sequestration with targeted cuts that would avoid this problem. Those have not passed. They've been blocked by leadership in the Senate for even coming up for a vote, and I'm going to continue to fight for those. Now, as to how we notify those, I'm not sure. That part of it is under the jurisdiction of the executive branch of government and will be up to the executive branch officials within the federal government and the executive branch officials that run these state and local governments that you work with. It is very unfortunate, the situation in which you find yourself, and I find it appalling that this is what we have to do. When we play politics with people's lives and their occupations, everyone loses. And my heart goes out to you and your families and those of your colleagues that you work with. Look, we've got a big government. We've got a lot of money to spend within that government. It is unfortunate, and I think unnecessary, that we should have to furlough that many essential employees, or any of them for that matter, when we've got as much waste and fraud and abuse in this government as we do. One of my colleagues in the Senate, the ranking Republican on the Senate Budget Committee, Jeff Sessions, recently pointed out that in light of President Obama's recent golf trip to Florida, had he not taken that one trip, just the money that would have been saved, the government money that would have been saved by that one trip, would have allowed us to save from furlough 341 government civilian employees. And so this is one of many examples of areas where we could and should cut, and where I think we will, at the end of the day, cut. And the question between now and then is how much misery do good, hardworking Americans like you have to endure before Congress is willing to go through that. You've got my commitment, though, that I'm going to keep pushing to replace the blunt, crude instrument of sequestration with targeted cuts.